Hey guys, it's Ms. Erig. Let's go through some basic problems using formulas. Here it's asking for the volume of a right cylinder. So remember, our first step is the formula. So it's a cylinder, so we know that our volume equals pi r squared times the height. Next, we need to label. So we're trying to find our volume. That'll be our x. We know pi. Our radius, well, this is 22, which is the diameter, so we have to divide by 2 to get our radius. So our radius is 11, and then our height is 10. Our third step is to plug it in the equation. So we've got x for our volume equals pi. Well, all of these answer choices don't have any pi's in it, so we'll just use 3.14. Times the radius squared, and we just pretty much do 11 times 11 because that's what's being typed in the calculator, times the height, which is 10. So all you got to do is do that math on the calculator and you'll get the correct answer. In this question, we're going to be doing volume of a cone, and a cone is the same thing as the cylinder. So we've got pi times the radius squared times the height, but this time we divide by 3 because of the cone. You also might, the formula you'll get on the reference sheet is 1/3 pi r squared times the height. I like to do divided by 3 because it's just easier. So our step 1 is the equation. Our step 2 is to do our labels. So we're trying to find the volume. So we could do v equals x or just leave it v. We know that in this case, our radius is 2. We don't have to do anything fancy. And our height is 7. So we're just going to plug it in. Our third step is to plug it in. So we've got our volume equals. Now, again, none of these answer choices have pi in it. So I'm just going to write 3.14 times my radius squared, which is just 2 times 2, times my height. And then all of this gets divided by 3. So what you need to do is first multiply that entire numerator, then divide that by 3, and you'll get your solution. Okay, now we've got the volume of a sphere. We know the volume of the sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. I have you guys do it in the calculator as 4 times pi times the radius, and we do the radius 3 times for cubed, all divided by 3. That's how we do it in the calculator. We know that in this case our radius is 3. So because this is in terms of pi, we're just going to leave the pi. We're not going to do anything fancy. So we've got 4 times pi times the radius times the radius times the radius divided by 3. That's how we're going to get our volume. So what's going to happen is, in essence, these 3's cancel. And really, all you need to do is just do 4 times 3 times 3. And that's going to be times pi, and you'll see the solution over here. So you're not going to put 3.14 in. If you put 3.14 in, you're going to get an estimation decimal. In this case, they want it in terms of pi, so we just leave it with pi. Okay, in this case, we want to find the volume of the cube. Remember, a cube is just another thing for a rectangular prism. And with rectangular prisms, you either have learned it as the volume equals the big base times the height, and the big base is what we can't see here. So this would be the base down here. Or I've taught it to you as volume equals length times width times height. Now, because this is the cube, we know that all sides are equal. So we've identified our equation. We know that the length, the width, and the height each equal 8 because it's a cube. Technically 8 centimeters. So all we need to do is put those digits in, do the multiplication, and we'll have our answer. All right, in this one it wants us how would we solve it? So we're pretty much just coming up with the formula and plugging it in. This is a rectangular base pyramid. You'll get this formula on your reference sheet. We know the formula is 1/3, and then just in the reference sheet it's base times height. I've taught it to you as it's 1/3 length times width times height. Remember that step 2 is we fill everything in. And I told you label. So we don't know our volume, so I can say V or you can put X. We know our length is 13, our width is 6, and our height is 14. So because we have our formula, our third step is to plug it in. We've got volume equals 1/3, 13, 6, and 14. Now, the other thing you could have done is looked like here, this is 1/2, so we can eliminate that. This one doesn't have a fraction, so we could eliminate that. And then here, this only has the base. So we know that that can't be it. So that gives you the process of elimination, that it's that one.